Hey crafty friends, I'm going to be showing you how I put together my week 12 and my 2023 Project Life album. And so I was really inspired by Jen Wong in the March Inspiration by the Month class on Ali Edwards that I wanted to recreate one of her cards. So I'm taking the green transparency and this orange tag and adding those into Studio and putting a little bit of a shadow on that, and then I'm going to add in the March paper from the Stories by the Month kit and layer that over the top. I was trying to decide whether I wanted the gold foil or not. Sometimes I think the gold foil looks kind of weird when you print it digitally. I love to actually go back and go gold foil it, but I won't be doing that on this because I'll be printing it as a 12 by 12. So going in and adding that March, then I'm going to crop it down so that it's just the abbreviation of MAR, just like she had, and then cropping it down so that it's kind of a 3 by 4-ish size, and then putting that off to the side. And then I want to cover up the details, so I'm going to pull in one of the chipboard pieces, the one that is the highs and lows, which is the same one that she used. And I'm going to also give that one a little bit of dimension. And actually it already had it. That's the great thing about Studio, is that it'll kind of keep building on top with shadowing if you're using it on preceding layers. So I'm going to save that to my camera roll and then add it into my Project Life spread to remind myself to use it for this next upcoming week, for week 12. Okay, so once I've got that in my spread, I will come back and add my photos and journaling after the week is done. So the week has completed, and I'm going to go, first I'm just looking to remind myself that, oh yeah, this is the spread that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to go and start picking out my favorite photos from the week. So I'm going to go through and just select the ones that are my favorites, like them, and then edit them in the Photos app, the iPhone Photos app. That's what I've been doing recently, and I've really been liking it. It's kind of simplifies my process a little bit. So I'm just going through and selecting those photos. My son sang and signed the national anthem at a basketball tournament, which was a great honor, and Wesley went fishing there. And then we celebrated kids' 8th and 10th birthdays over the weekend. So there are lots of pictures from their birthday parties specifically, and then also it was truly Lawrence's birthday coming up, so I have a few pictures of him playing soccer and then also going out to eat for his birthday. So just going through and editing these, and then I'll decide which ones I actually pull into the spread here in a moment. So going through photos. And I just do this process throughout the week. Sometimes I do it all at once. Sometimes I do it at the end of the week. As long as I'm staying on top of it, it's not a terribly astronomical task that I have, not so daunting, I guess I should say. So I just try to do this periodically, at least once a week, if not a couple times a week. So we're back in the Project Life app, and I'm going to start adding in the photos that I think that I want. So they're now in my favorites. I pull up just my favorites, and I can look and see which ones do I truly want to add. So I usually end up editing more pictures than what I'm actually going to end up putting in my spread. So I know I want to put this one in, and I know that it's going to be tight. I know that I'm going to have lots of pictures this week. So I'm going to start doing some of my journaling directly on top of the photos. And my favorite way to do that is in WordSwag. So I'm going to pull up the WordSwag app and put in my journaling on top of this picture of Wesley at his first soccer practice of the year. And so I add everything on here, that he scored a goal. He was super excited that his friend is on his team. And he was even more excited to find out that his friend is actually going to play at the games with him on his team too. Obviously that was not something he expected. just because they practiced together, he didn't realize that they were going to play together as well. So super cute. So I'm adding that into the spread, and then I go through my photos and I realize that actually there is a way cuter picture of him that I didn't get to go to his practice. So his grandma and grandpa took him and actually took these pictures for me. So I realized that there was a way cuter picture of him actually kicking the ball. So I'm going to go back to Word Swag and do the exact same thing that I just did. And if you just go back instead of start a new one, it will literally keep the same journaling if you haven't closed out of the app or anything. I do this all the time to save myself time. So I just flipped the journaling over to the other side, put the new picture in, and then slapped it back into my spread. So take that other picture out, and then we're going to go through and find a few more pictures. That's the one of my son singing the national anthem with his classmates. Such a cool opportunity. They were adorable looking at how big the crowd was. And then Wesley fishing, and then Wesley being silly with his grandpa, and then a picture of us embarrassing our son on his birthday by making him sit on the saddle at Texas Roadhouse. He couldn't believe we did that to him. And then the last picture is just a picture of the three of them at the birthday parties. So now that I've got all of my pictures in there, I am really, truly just having a hard time deciding what I'm going to journal in addition. I was doing this late at night and I was tired, so my brain was done. I decided, I'm just sitting here honestly staring at the screen, to be perfectly honest. And I decided, you know what, let's just come back to this later. And I decided to go and add a few things into, just barely get started on the kids' birthday weeks as well. So I'm going to add Lawrence's picture into this one, as well as I always add their invitations into a squared away. So it's got the big square in the center and then the smaller squares all the way around. And I am going to put a picture of him in the middle. This is what I do every single year. So this is just kind of my formula. Put a big picture of them in the middle, usually with them showing me on their fingers how old they are, or I always get the balloons from either Walmart or Hobby Lobby that are the gold foil balloons that show their age. And then I'm going to put his invitation that I texted out to his family and friends. And then I'm going to just go and do the same thing in Brecken's, because this is a brainless activity for me. And like I said, I was really tired this night and I just couldn't bring myself to journal. Okay, so we've got that picture of Brecken in there, and then this is her invitation that I'm just resizing and moving around to where I like it. And I am done with those, at least have a start on them. So going back to the week 12, I was just thinking that pink just didn't go with the colors in the photos, so I wanted to, or in the card that I made. So I went back and I just changed the card. These are from the Stories by the Year kit that came out in 2022. So I like that much better. Now I'm going to come back another day and I'm going to journal. So I did my journaling and I just want to show you how I kind of tweak this. I did all of it and it didn't quite fit around that highs and lows. To be honest, I still didn't get it quite the way that I wanted it, but I am not a perfectionist when it comes to this. Done is better than perfect, in my opinion. So I copied the last part of that journaling, and then I duplicated this, and then I went and I pasted in the journaling that I had copied out from the beginning. And so now I have two separate text boxes that I'm going to line up together, and I can make that bottom text box wider so that it flows a little better around the highs and lows. So I can cinch in the top text box and I can widen the lower one. And then I wanted to, I kind of regretted not doing this first, but I needed to stretch out the spacing between the lines of the text. And so I laid those over the top of each other to make sure that I got them both pretty even. Once again, not perfect. I'm going to save this to my camera roll, and I'm going to pull it into my Project Life app. And then, guys, I am done. I finally got it all in there, and this one's done and dusted. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and give this a thumbs up.